right, I am live here today with you on the Paper Party Live, and welcome. I am so excited that you're here to hang out with me for a few minutes. Thank you for being here. So whether this is your first time to this channel or you've been here lots of times, it's fantastic to have you to hang out with for a few minutes and make some cards. We're going to make one card, and today this is a super versatile layout. It is a really fun layout that is easy to use, and Stampin' Up! Has a thing for demonstrators where they show us how to use some new things that are coming up. This is a layout that they shared. I thought it was so great. I wanted to share it with you too. So here we are. I've got some notes over here so I make sure I don't miss anything. So this layout uses designer series paper that maybe it's too pretty to cover up, right? Or you've just got a few scraps that you want to be sure to use up because they're laying around in your bag or your stash, and it would be a great idea to use them up. I mean, we don't want to waste anything, right? All of this stuff costs money, so let's use it. Tonight's card is a layout that is simple, it's smart, and it is seriously stunning just using a few pieces of designer series paper. We're going to have a technique of tearing a little bit of it, and it's gonna just look stunning. You can adapt it for anything that you have on hand. So you don't have to use what I'm going to show. Use it for whatever you have at your house, okay? Whatever you have in your stash. I'm going to start off with Nests of Winter designer series paper because it is just dreamy. It is beautiful, and this layout will let any of your papers truly shine, no matter what patterned paper or designer paper you decide to use. It really helps them look gorgeous. I'm also going to be using, let's see if I can grab it here, the Comforting Thoughts, maybe it's going to be backward, Comforting Thoughts stamp set here, and I am using some early espresso ink. So that's what I've got here, and this is so flexible. At the end, I'm going to show you a couple of variations on this theme so you can see how easy it is to vary this for whatever paper you have on hand. So I do see that some people are popping on, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know that you're here, and also for saying hi. I really appreciate that, and let me know any questions that you have. I'll do my very best to answer, okay? I am really excited that you're here. This layout will adapt to whatever your vibe is, and it is a really good go-to idea for whatever you have, and you'll just keep coming back to it. I'm going to walk you through step by step, but of course tomorrow, when this live is all done and I have the blog post done, I will have a free downloadable PDF showing absolutely everything. So you can recreate this yourself anytime you want at home with whatever you have. It will have the cutting instructions, the measurements, and all of the supplies. So I hope you make sure you check that out on my blog, download it, and have some fun with whatever you have at home. It'll be down, the link will be down in the description down below when it's live. So be sure you come back and check it out, but I'll also have it on my social media. So I think that we should go ahead and dive right in. How about you? Grab any of your supplies. If you've seen the measurements that I gave earlier, let's just grab them. And if you are a customer of mine from May or June, or one of the people who's on my team, I also sent you everything you need to create this card. So I really hope that you grab those and hang out with me to stamp and create the card. All right, let's go ahead then. I'm going to bring in the camera here, the overhead cam, and switch down to it. And I might have to make it so things are even. There we go, that's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this beautiful card together. I'm going to start with a thick basic white cardstock using a bone folder. It has been cut to be 5.5 by 8.5, and then it was scored at 4 1/4. So that bump goes on the inside. We're going to go ahead and burnish it so it's nice and tight with the score line. And this is a portrait style layout, so we're going to keep that vertical orientation in mind while we build this design. So I've cut 3 strips of the Nest of Winter. It's 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches for each piece here, and there are 3. And then we're going to tear by hand the edge, and I like to have the white showing that is through there, so I'm going to tear it up toward me so that the white edge shows through. Do you see how it has a little bit of a white edge there? And I'm going to do that on all 3 because these are non-directional. If I had one that had to be a certain direction, then I would think about it before I tore it. But this is the second piece has been torn. Now it's just a tiny little bit on the edge getting torn. Small amount getting torn and showing off that white edge on the edge of the designer series paper. Don't overthink it. Just tear it gently and naturally so that soft, so the soft fibrous look is coming through. Now you can either adhere these onto the front of the card, and I'm going to have 2 of them going, the tear going to my left and one of the tears going to the right. And then we're going to adhere these 3 strips like this. So you can either use your adhesive, if you like liquid glue, to put them down right here, or you can use seal or a tape runner, whatever it is that you like. I'm actually going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to put these up on dimensionals. So I'm going to get 3 dimensionals and put them behind these strips. Like I said, the first one, I'm going to have it be about 1/2 inch or so from the top and just lay it down. So it's kind of in the center, but it is about 1/2 inch away from the top. If you'd like to have yours look a little different than that, that is absolutely fine. It's your card. You can do whatever you want. Got a black lab, and his name is Milo. I just found a Milo hair there, so sorry about that. Okay, this second one is going to go down about, I don't know, a little over 1/4 inch maybe underneath the first one. And then the last strip, I'm going to try to have it be about the same distance from the bottom as this is from the top. So again, I'm going to grab those dimensionals and put 3 of them on, taking the paper backing off. And I honestly think that's all I need with the dimensionals, so I'm going to toss those aside. And now I'm laying this down. Okay, and that is the basic layout. So what I'm going to do, and this is a little crooked, so I'm going to straighten it out. But it's a handmade card, so if it's not perfect, that's okay. I would like to open up the ink next, and I have no idea what stamp set you'd like to use, but just about anything will work because we're going to stamp our sentiment right here in this empty spot. Or you could stamp it here if you want, but I'm going to put an embellishment right here on this side, so I know I want to have my stamped image over here. So my sentiment is wishing you comfort, and I'm going to hopefully get it straightish right here. Oh, that turned out really nicely. I like how that turned out. And the dimensionals help create almost like a shadow underneath these strips of designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and close up that ink because I'm basically done with it. Now what I did was I die cut a nice embellishment to use, and I'm going to simply lay it here. And the way I'm going to do that is with a little bit of the liquid glue. So I'm going to put some gently on this image. Let's see, how do I want that on there? I'm just having to eyeball it really quickly, and then just a little bit of glue on the different leaves, a little bit of adhesive. placing it on, and okay, I think that's pretty well glued. And now I'm simply going to let the magic happen by pressing it down onto the paper. Excellent. All right. So this gives it a little bit of a touch of nature and some texture. And now to finish that off, I'm going to tie a great big loopy bow out of some linen thread that I have here. And I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Make it nice and loopy. And by loopy, I mean it just has some big loops. These two are nice and big. Okay. All right, and I'm going to cut this so it is kind of even with that other side. And a little bit of a glue dot here. And all I need is to take the glue dot off. I roll it around in my fingers. And I'm going to put it on the back of the loopy bow, placing the loopy bow onto that foliage. I just love how that soft bow pulls it all together. Nice. So now for the inside, I'm simply going to have a basic white panel matted on this garden green piece. So like I said, I'm going to have all the dimensions and everything listed on the PDF for you and on my blog. I generally really like using a 3 3/4 piece by 5 inch for the place where I write to my recipients, matted onto a piece that's just an 1/8 inch bigger. So it's actually 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 for the green. And then I place that inside. And there is the finished card. Isn't that pretty? And what a simple yet stunning layout. It's a beautifully layered card. It's quick, it's classy, and you know what? This is really versatile. So I really hope that you're gonna give this layout a try and that it inspires you to grab your paper scraps or that designer series paper that maybe you've been saving and give this a go. Let me show you the other examples that I have. I use the Mixed Media Florals Designer Series paper with the mixed labels for the sentiment and mixed florals for the item that I die cut out. And then I've got a little bit of sparkle gems here and a mossy meadow. So it all coordinates with that. I just colored with these with some Stampin' Blends, and inside the same type of thing, only this is a Calypso coral surrounding the white. But it's the same layout, but it looks really different, doesn't it? And then I decided to make one that I thought would be for a guy or a gal very easily. This one is too. But I did this one using the Distressed Regals Designer Series paper. Again, that little bit of a teared edge just really gives a nice, interesting personality. And the You've Been on My Mind is from the Beautiful Motifs stamp set. And this is from the Beautiful Motifs die cuts. This is also from the Beautiful Motifs. So I like all the foliage that you can get with that. This is a baker's twine bit of crumb cake. And these are the, let's see, what in the heck are they called? They are pressed flower motifs. So that's what this little embellishment is here. They're kind of like a metal. So that kind of gives a cool look. I thought that was suiting since this has gold accents, and to use something kind of a metal on there as well. And inside we've got some pretty peacocks surrounding the white. So how easy is that? And look at how different they are. And it's so cool. All right, so if you enjoyed creating with me tonight, I really hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you ring that little bell so you don't miss anything. I'm going to switch the camera back around and move that webcam again. All right, I'm going to be here doing these lives with some really great and easy layouts on Thursdays. Almost every Thursday I have in-person events on the first Thursday, so not done. But I really hope that you'll think about coming and joining me and creating some things on social media. I will have all the measurements for you so that you can follow along and create some fun stuff too. And you can, speaking of social media, please think about following me there. I share behind the scenes looks, extra tips, and of course loads of card ideas for you. All through the week. You'll find me at Julia Sue's Stamping. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're looking for one, I'd love to be your creative cheerleader. Whether you're just getting started or you've been crafting for years, I'm here to help you and answer any of your questions. I hope that we'd have fun doing it too. So for those who are live, do you have any questions or anything like that that I can do to help? I will wait for just a moment and wrap it up while I'm waiting to see if there are any questions. But I really appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with me. I know there are a lot of places that you could be, and so I'm really glad that you chose to be here and to hang out with me for a few minutes. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I would love to say until next time, I hope that you keep on creating, keep smiling, and I hope you get inky today. All right, have a good day. Bye for now.